Let's now get some more updates from the ground. DD India correspondents Amritpal Singh and Meghna are joining us. Amritpal is joining us from Punjab, Kartarpur, and Meghna is joining us from Bhuj in Gujarat. Amrit, let me come to you first. With cessation of military activity and action, give us a sense of how normalcy is returning to where you are.
Okay, first I'm not in Kartarpur. I'm standing right on the banks of river Satluj. I've moved from Kartarpur, moving in different districts of Punjab.
All right.
The sense that I'm picking up on the ground is that normalcy is limping back, and the state is limping back to normalcy. But what they've seen, Shubhendu, over the past few days while Operation Sindoor was on, Pakistani drones, this being a border state, Pakistani drones, Pakistani missiles, projectiles landing on their rooftops, debris falling over residential areas, drones falling in their fields. Though not much damage was done, some places people were injured, both in Amritsar and in Firozpur, but no major damage per se. There were military installations that were attacked in Punjab. So those memories are still fresh in the minds. It's just the last night was quiet, the skies were quiet, so the borders were quiet. So there is a slight apprehension, which is understandable in the locals, that what would tonight look like, because there were blackouts still. The civil administration was taking no chances. There were blackouts. Amritsar was plunged into complete darkness all night, and electricity was restored only early in the morning. And in other places also, electricity in the border villages and the border districts, electricity was restored only past midnight. So that led to a certain sense of panic. But of course, the district administration is exercising abundant caution. So they're looking at tonight. Slowly that confidence is coming back in people, that things between India and Pakistan have been sorted for the moment. And so that is the general sentiment that I've gathered wherever I've traveled throughout the state.
Right.
Shubhendu.
Amrit, stay with us while we turn to Meghna. Meghna, correction, I think you're from Kutch in Gujarat. Past couple of days and nights have been difficult for people living in the border states with blackouts and threats of missile and drones. How are things now?
At the moment, very importantly, as Amritpal said, there is apprehension, definitely very palpable. But the district administration is quite cautious because yesterday there was a blackout which was lifted after the understanding was reached. But after that, the kind of violations that were being reported, the district administration again, actually observed, the entire district of Kutch observed a blackout, and also not only the Kutch district but also the other bordering districts like Banaskantha, Patan, many villages there along the border also did observe a blackout. Now what we have seen since morning today, all the shops have been open. Life has turned to normal. I guess it was as normal as it was maybe 3 to 4 days ago. But definitely people, because in the past few days people have been hearing about drones being spotted. People have been hearing about, though there has been no civilian life loss, or there has been no damage that has been major damage that has been reported across Kutch. So this is something that upholds the spirits of people, that there has been no such damage that has been reported, and there's been no loss of civilian lives as well. So definitely this is something that people are complying with, the administration, the rules that have been laid out by the administration. But what we see on the ground is that situation is quite normal. We'll have to see if tonight also the administration orders for a blackout. So we'll have to see for that, because until now everything seems very normal. There has been no sirens that we could hear today. Last night also, since late night, there have been no sirens that we could hear. So clearly it seems that things are getting back to normal, but we'll definitely have to see, because there are, as Amrit said, there are apprehensions as well, and the administration is cautious and very prepared, and keeping a vigil.
Right. Meghna, Amrit, if you talk about the conflict with Pakistan, Amrit, I'll come to you first. We see that new red lines have been drawn India saying clearly that any act of terror in the future is going to be seen as an act of war.
That's right, Shibendu. Once the DGMOs spoke last afternoon, and the statements that followed were that any act of terror will be treated as an act of war. Basically saying that even if you want to stop the military, it was the Pakistani DGMO who called the Indian DGMO and said that we don't want to take the military hostilities and the military action further. So India said, fine, we are fine by it. We have always been saying that we are only responding, we are only retaliating to what you are doing. If you want to stop it, let's go down that alley. We did not want to do it in the first place. Our 7th May strikes were against terror targets. But it was made very clear in no uncertain terms, right from the Prime Minister to the Foreign Minister to also the DGMOs who spoke, that any act of terror emanating from their soil will be dealt with and will be met with a very strong military response, as was on the 7th of May. This excuse that, oh, it was not our proxies, we don't know them, India is not ready to accept that. The red lines have been drawn, that no act of terror from your soil, whether with your connivance or not, we don't care about that. Your soil, you remove that, you stop that, otherwise we'll hit you back, we'll hit the terror targets back, and that shall be treated as an act of war. So the red lines have been drawn very, very clearly, that if the terror factory does not stop operating from Pakistan soil, India will exercise its right to decimate that terror factory.
Right, and Meghna, last couple of days of the conflict also demonstrated India's capability in defense preparedness, not just in carrying out a precision strike, but also defending against a barrage of missiles and drones at different parts.
Absolutely, and this speaks volumes of how much prepared India is, not only to keep a vigil on the borders, not only to keep a vigil along the coastline, but also how much prepared the citizens are. We have been seeing mock drills across, across many states, across many districts, and all the mock drills, the kind of compliance, Shibendu, that people have seen. We have been showing our viewers the kind of visuals that not only the armed forces are prepared, our arms, ammunition, weaponry is prepared. We are showing our indigenous strength as well in terms of our arms and ammunition. But what we definitely did also see is that how strongly the citizens are prepared. Now, what very importantly, what we also see is that as being said, that India has clearly said that earlier also in the first strikes when India destroyed the terror camps, clearly said this is precise, no collateral damage, this is measured, we are responsible, and India has been, and after that India responsibly announced the world also about it, that we have carried out a strike on terror camps. We are at war with the terrorists. So this was very clear on India's front, that we are only taking action against terrorists. And we really do not want to do any kind of collateral damage, nothing aimed at civilians, nothing aimed at the military. But after that also how the situation escalated, India has been giving retaliatory response to all the offensives that have happened. So clearly paints a picture of the preparedness, the kind of vigil, the kind of the strength and the kind of mindset that the armed forces have at the moment, and they're really prepared. Clearly, after in the last few days, we did see that clearly prepared for anything, any kind of offensive that comes their way.
Right, Meghna, Amritpal, thank you for joining us with those updates.